Look at that. I'm assuming this is a species of ranunculus, but I honestly really don't know. And the main reason why I'm out here is not for this species, but I'm on a very specific section of the Grand River, which you can see right here, and I'm looking for a rare Trillium species, the rarest in Michigan, probably one of the rarest in the Midwest. And it's rumored to be around here, so hopefully I find some. Guys, not even 5 minutes after I just filmed that first clip, we're on the banks, literally the bank of the Grand River. It's a little flooded right now, but look at these. These are Trillium nivale, the snow trillium. These are endangered in the state of Michigan. I'm being very careful around here. They're only known from this isn't the only location that they grow, but they're only known from around this section of the Grand River in Ionia County. Only a small section of the Grand River on these alluvial forests right here. And look how tiny these are. These are the smallest trilliums I've ever seen, and they're already blooming. It's like the first week of April. And look, we have 3 bract-like leaves, then 3 sepals, these little things here, and then we have the flower. And look, there's pollen all over the petals here, or I guess petaloid bracts. And inside we got, I think that's 3 stamens, and then like maybe like 6, 8 anthers. And the population here, it looks very healthy, but they're only growing on this riverbank. This is a very fragile habitat. And there's a lot coming up in this area. And you can see not all of them are flowering. Like a lot of these are just the bracts. They're, this year they're taking up energy to flower another year. And these grow so slowly. They have, let me see if I can find any. The seedlings are really hard to spot, but they have a 1-leaf form that they take on. Oh yeah, there's some right here. They grow like this as one single leaf for up to like over 10 years, up to 20 years. Then when they have enough energy, they'll come up like this as a 3-leaf rosette for another amount of years. And then finally, when they have enough energy, they flower like this. And because their life cycle is so slow, they take so long to recover, and they're really favored by deer too, which has really hurt the population. But here where I am, this is a hunting area, this is a state game area, so the deer population is more under control. And these, once they get pollinated and they produce seed, the seeds are dispersed by ants. So the seeds have what's called an elaiosome, like a fatty, I don't know, tissue surrounding the seed, and the ants go crazy for it. They take it back to their nest, they eat the elaiosome, they leave the seed, and the trillium will germinate later. And it's just, I've never seen this plant before. This might be one of the rarest plants I've ever seen in the state of Michigan. It's endangered in the state of Michigan. It's very rare, or just in general, but throughout its range, it's pretty uncommon. It grows in the Ohio River Valley north to Minnesota, but the distribution is very spotty. And this is the only location that it grows in the state of Michigan. It's so cool to see. And they bloom so early. They're one of the earliest blooming species. I only saw that other ranunculus species blooming, and that was only 1 flower so far. And this species, I'm glad it's protected as endangered, because it's just so rare and so special. And I don't know I'm not sure why, but also the genetic diversity for the species is very low, which also hampers recovery of the population and everything. And they're just so cool. Like, this is such a tiny flower. You can get a better view of the anthers. Oh, so there's actually 6 of them, 3 stamens, and unless the stamens are just 3 branch. Just an amazing plant. I wish I brought my lens, but I left it in the car. And they only come up in early spring. They'll die back by June probably, and they get all of their energy before this tree canopy leafs out. And they just do this year after year, extremely slow growing, just like other spring ephemerals, but these are just a lot rarer. So cool to see. These flowers are so pretty. I did some more looking for them, and this is about as far inland like that I've seen a population, and they're still only like less than 20 feet away from the river. They only exist in this narrow strip. This population is just from the mouth of that creek there, maybe like 30 feet that way, and it's only a narrow strip by the river. It's such a fragile species here, but this population is thriving right now. So many flowering. So just to give you another idea of how limited the habitat for the Trillium nivale is, I've come up here to the top of the ridge. This is like, you could call it like the start of the river valley basically, because it's all flat up here and it slopes down to the river down there. And just the riverbank area right at the edge is the only place where I saw that species. Now there's a lot of other species that I saw that are way more common, like these spring beauties here, but they're not flowering yet. There's a lot of flower buds, but they're not flowering yet. That Trillium species is one of the earliest flowering spring ephemerals here. And it's so rare. These populations are so precious. We can't afford to lose any. And the species is listed as endangered in the state of Michigan, but as far as listed plants go, it honestly doesn't do that much to protect them. But right here, this is a public land, so they won't build on this, hopefully. And hopefully the species can continue to thrive here. I would hate to lose it. So I just found another population. This one's maybe a third of a mile, quarter mile away upstream. And there's a little clump right here. You can see some juveniles that are just so small. It's like barely larger than my fingertip. And there's some more back there. And there's the river. And these appear to be doing very well. A lot of the forest near here is kind of taken over by a lot of invasive species, but right by the river, it's pretty natural. And it would be hard to focus, but I'm seeing a lot of younger plants that aren't flowering yet around here. And oh, I see There's a little bug pollinating that flower there. So it looks like these are pollinated by a lot of beetles, maybe a lot of, maybe some flies, just all the insects that are out early in spring. And then once they fruit, probably in like May, the ants will come and disperse their seeds.